Back when I was a teenager, I convinced my dad that I needed a soldering gun. And so we got this Weller 100 to 140 watt model 82N for my soldering needs. Yeah, as you might imagine, it was a bit too much. It was great for soldering wires, but when you started working with circuits, 100 watts is just way too much power. Today, I would have hoped that my old teenage self would have gone for the Weller 6 watt to 8 watt soldering iron, which would have been much more appropriate to his needs. And thanks to the Home Depot Seeds program, we're going to be looking at the WLIBAK8 Weller soldering iron. Once freed from its prison-like blister pack, you gain access to the user's guide, a shield that goes over the tip, the actual soldering iron itself, which has a 2-position switch for the 6 to 8 watts. It also has a built-in LED light included in the kit, 4 AA alkaline batteries, a tip remover, and a small coil of solder to start with. Before installing batteries, you may want to place the protective cover over the tip. That does 2 things. It protects the tip, plus, should this switch be in the low or high position, it pushes it back to the off position. Installing batteries is as simple as going to the back and sliding down. There's no screws to remove. There are no interlocks. You insert your top batteries so that the plus sign is facing out. Bottom batteries go with the plus sign facing in. You slide the cover back up, and you're ready to use the device. With the batteries in place, we simply take off the protective cover, switch it to low. We get a green flashing light. It takes about 30 seconds for the unit to reach temperature. And I'm assuming once it gets to temperature, that light will go solid. Let's wait and see. Instead of going solid, I now get a red light, which is solid, and the green light, there we go. So during warm-up, the green light will flash, then I've gotten a red light that also flashed, and now they're both solid, indicating that the unit is ready to be used. Unlike my old soldering gun, in which the copper tip had to be tinned in order to make it conductive and to protect it, this tip is plated, so there's no need for tinning. To remove this wire, I simply touch the tip to the solder and let it melt. It's nice to have the LED light to shine. And the solder has melted. I can pull away and we are done. I switch it off and wait for it to cool off. It's a temperature of about 900 degrees or 485 Celsius, which is plenty for what we're doing here. These are small connections. I think if you needed to go for something that really needed a lot more power, then obviously your 6 to 8 watt cordless iron wouldn't be enough. But I like the fact that it's battery powered. So they claim about 30 solders on this. Easily carry another 4 alkalines with you, and you can just toss them in and you're good to go again. I like the fact that they include a light, which is great when you're trying to work behind things where they're just dark areas and you're trying to see. So I like that a lot. Reminiscent of the big gun that I have that also had, and that had an incandescent lamp, whereas this is LED. These tips are removable, and I won't remove it right now because it's very hot, but I'll show you that in a little bit. You simply use this tool and you go behind the tip and you press this way and the tip pops out. There are other interchangeable bits not included with the kit. This is a 0.3 millimeter tip, but there are some other versions that are available should you need those for your soldering needs. According to the manufacturer, the heat element is here, and so therefore it heats up quicker and faster than if the heating element was back here trying to transfer energy. And my other favorite thing, of course, is the fact that you can get into the batteries really easily just by sliding the cover off. No silly screws to pop out. And I really do like the protective cover that not only protects the tip, but also turns off the unit should you inadvertently leave it on. It'll make sure that it's off, keep your batteries from draining, and from, of course, burning anything. With the tip cooled off, you simply take your little key, doesn't matter which side you use. You come up behind the probe and you just press down and it comes off. It's sort of like a little RCA connector here. This is great because the tip is replaceable, and of course, you can buy different types of tips. To put on your tip, you simply insert, push in until it's fully seated, and it's ready to go. With the unit set to 6 watts, we have our light that's on. We have a status indicating green, that we're good to go with the low setting. If we go to the high setting, it has to get up to temperature. And once there, we get a red light letting us know that it is the high setting. And when you're done, simply switch off. Of course, beware that this tip is very, very hot, and allow it to cool down before putting it away or putting the cover back on. The molded on rubber gives you a nice grip on the unit and makes operation very easy. Again, because it's the tip that's being heated and not the body of it trying to heat the tip on the inside, this always stays comfortably cool. So if you have lots of little soldering to do, your fingers aren't going to get warm. The other thing is, if it does take longer than 30 or so seconds to come up to heat, then you probably just need to replace the batteries. And you should get about 30 cycles before the batteries start to wear out on you. Still, for 4 alkaline AA batteries and for occasional use or even for regular use, this is a nice little handy unit to just have as part of your toolbox if you're doing any electrical work. The, I think, ingenious cover that makes sure that the unit is off when you place it on is great. And overall, I like the design of the unit and the fact that you can replace the tips, and there are other tip options that are available for this soldering iron. Much better than the oversized soldering gun that I was using as a kid. If you found this video interesting or useful, give us a thumbs up, leave us a comment, join the subscription team, and as always, thank you ever so much for watching.